Have you ever noticed that some of the most powerful changes in the world happen quietly? Not with a loud announcement, not with a dramatic breakthrough that everyone immediately understands, but with a small idea that slowly changes how we think about what's possible. Recently, scientists discovered a way that could help create devices that work without traditional batteries. At first glance, this sounds like a story about technology. But if you look deeper, it reveals something fascinating about human psychology. Because for most of history, we believe that every device needed a battery, just as many people believe they need constant motivation, constant energy, or constant external support to function. But what if power already exists around us? What if the future belongs not to those who consume the most energy, but to those who learn how to use the energy that is already there? Psychology shows that this same principle applies to human potential. Let's explore what this surprising scientific discovery can teach us about ourselves. Number 1. Strength is often hidden in places we overlook. Traditional batteries are obvious. You can see them, charge them, replace them, and measure them. But the new generation of battery-free devices works differently. Instead of relying on stored energy, they collect tiny amounts of energy from their environment. The energy was always there. People simply weren't using it effectively. Research indicates that humans often underestimate resources they already possess. We focus on what we lack instead of what we have. Someone might think they're not confident enough to pursue a goal. Yet every day they solve problems, handle challenges, and survive difficult situations without realizing those actions are evidence of confidence. The strength exists. It simply hasn't been recognized. Just like those invisible sources of energy, some of your greatest abilities may already be present, waiting to be noticed. Number 2, small amounts of energy can create extraordinary results. When people imagine success, they often picture massive effort, working harder, doing more, pushing beyond limits. But psychology suggests that consistency matters more than intensity. A person who improves by 1% each day can eventually outperform someone who waits for a burst of motivation. Battery-free devices don't need huge amounts of power. They survive by collecting tiny amounts continuously. The lesson is powerful. You don't need to transform your entire life overnight. Reading a few pages, taking a short walk, learning one new idea, making one better choice. These actions seem insignificant in the moment. Yet over time, they create remarkable change. Small energy, used consistently, becomes powerful. Number 3, the environment matters more than we think. Battery-free technology depends heavily on its surroundings. It gathers energy from movement, light, heat, and other sources nearby. Without the right environment, its performance changes. Human psychology works in a surprisingly similar way. Research shows that our surroundings strongly influence our behavior. Many people blame themselves for lacking discipline when the real issue is their environment. A student trying to study in a room full of distractions isn't weak. A person trying to develop healthy habits while surrounded by unhealthy influences isn't broken. Sometimes the solution isn't becoming stronger. Sometimes it's creating better conditions. When you improve your environment, you often improve your behavior naturally. The people around you, the content you consume, the spaces where you spend your time. These things quietly shape your future. Number 4, efficiency can be more powerful than force. Many people live as if success is about using more energy, working longer, trying harder, never resting. But psychology indicates that burnout often reduces performance rather than improving it. The most effective people aren't necessarily those with the most energy. They're often the people who use their energy wisely. Battery-free devices represent efficiency. Instead of demanding more power, they learn how to accomplish more with less. This idea can transform the way we see ourselves. You don't have to constantly push harder. You don't have to prove your worth through exhaustion. Sometimes growth comes from simplifying, prioritizing, and focusing on what truly matters. Efficiency is not laziness. It is intelligence in action. Number 5, adaptability is one of the greatest forms of strength. The world changes constantly. Technology evolves. Industries shift. Opportunities appear and disappear. Battery-free devices succeed because they adapt to whatever energy is available. Psychology shows that adaptability is one of the strongest predictors of long-term resilience. The people who thrive are rarely the ones with perfect plans. They're the ones who adjust when circumstances change. Think about the challenges you've already survived, the unexpected problems, the disappointments, the moments when life didn't go according to plan. Yet somehow, you found a way forward. That ability to adapt is evidence of strength. More strength than many people realize. Number 6. The future often belongs to those who see possibilities others ignore. When new ideas first appear, they're often dismissed. People focus on limitations. They focus on why something won't work. But progress usually begins when someone notices potential where others see nothing. Research suggests that optimistic thinking isn't about ignoring reality. It's about remaining open to possibilities. This mindset affects how we view ourselves. Many people define themselves by their current situation, their current skills, their current limitations. But human beings are not fixed. You're not limited to who you were yesterday. Your abilities can grow. Your confidence can develop. Your habits can change. Your future can be different from your past. Sometimes the most important thing you can do is believe that improvement is possible. This scientific breakthrough reminds us of something deeply human. Power doesn't always come from giant sources. Sometimes it comes from tiny pieces gathered over time. Sometimes it comes from resources that were always present but never fully appreciated. And perhaps the same is true for you. Maybe the qualities you need are already there. Maybe your resilience is stronger than you realize. Maybe your potential has been quietly waiting for recognition. You don't need to become someone completely different. You may simply need to see yourself differently. The next time you feel like you're lacking something, remember this lesson. Not all power is stored in batteries, and not all strength is obvious. Some of the most important energy in the world is invisible. It changes everything. If this video helped you see yourself from a new perspective, subscribe for more psychology insights and thoughtful ideas about human behavior, personal growth, and the hidden strengths that make us who we are. Until next time, take care of yourself, and remember that even the smallest source of energy can create extraordinary change.